trading system, and that really goes back to the gentleman's point that love you or loathe you, the most important thing to do as a leader is to stick to what you believe.
Okay,
and I think that's very important.
Right, we'll come back to that question of climate change and the policy around it shortly. Still on the future of the Labor Party, here's a question from Kelly Halpern.
Mr Howard, what are the chances of seeing a Lazarus rising within the Australian Labor Party?
Well, in other words, I think Kevin Rudd will ever come back as Prime Minister. No, I don't. I think Kevin Rudd will never return as Prime Minister because when push came to shove, he wouldn't even put his name in the ballot. Now that had to mean that he didn't have much support, and I think the reality is that having taken the extraordinary action of voting out a first-term Prime Minister, the possibility of him coming back is just too remote to contemplate.
Okay, our next question comes from Kathleen Kyle. It's once again on the question of Kevin Rudd.
Mr Howard, you say Kevin Rudd could have won the last election by a landslide if he had fought it on the grounds that he saved Australia from a depression during the global financial crisis. Do you accept that that is in fact what he did do?
No, I don't. But he would have had a simple, uncomplicated argument. See, the Labor Party's pitch all along has been, look, we saved Australia from recession because we spent this very big stimulus. Now, I don't accept that. I think Australia was saved from recession because Howard and Costello left it in good shape, and because we sell a lot of resources to China and Japan and Korea, and we benefit from that, and because of 25 years of economic reform that went before it. But at least if Kevin Rudd had still been there, he could have argued in an uncomplicated way the Labor Party's position. The problem they had was that Julia Gillard was simultaneously saying we had to get rid of Rudd because the government had lost its way, but incidentally, in the process of losing its way, we saved Australia from recession. Now, that was all just a bit too complicated. And I mean, one of the things that you've got to be able to do in politics is to have a straightforward, unambiguous proposition. And I think if Rudd had still been there, he would have won an absolute majority. I don't think a landslide, because he would have had a simpler argument. And governments normally get back for a second term. Scullin's government in 1931 is the only time that that's never happened. And of course, that was in the middle of the Great Depression, where governments were falling like ninepins all around the world.
But Mr Howard, what does this assessment tell us of your own assessment of Tony Abbott's ability, your confidence in his ability to win an election which would have been largely based on the economy and economic management?
I don't think it diminishes my properly attributed high opinion of him. I think